Hello everyone, it's Bethany from Beth and Books and welcome back to this book nook. Welcome to my family home, my parents' home. My childhood bedroom is right over there. I am back from having a break, an unintended break, but I am back. As you know, Titus and I, are moving house. It was so much more stressful than I ever anticipated, especially because it was over the Christmas, New Year's season. So the whole time, Vinny, you want to come say hi? Sure. Yeah. Say hi to the people, baby. This is Vinny. If you haven't met him on the vlogs, one of our family dogs. I think Sam's just staring at me from his bed over there. But yeah, it's just been way more stressful than I thought it was ever going to be over the Christmas break period. And as a result, what it's meant is that every time I went to sit down and record or read or do anything, I felt guilty, like I should have been packing instead. He brought me his broken ball. Afterwards, I promise I'll play with you after, okay? He's just gonna give me puppy dog eyes this whole time. We can guiltily ignore him. Oh, I'm sorry, Vinny. Anyway, I don't want this intro to be too long. I just had to have a break. Nothing felt like it was fun. Everything felt like it was a job I had to do and missed moving. But the good news is I've been at my parents' home for a week and a half. In 3 days, we move into the new home and I'm so excited to do a vlog and share that with you, setting up the new bookshelf, setting up my new wardrobe. I'll be sharing everything in a vlog with you, so stay tuned for that. But you guys very thankfully and gratefully voted for what my first video of the new year will be, because this is going to be the first one of the new year. And it's my bucket list for 2022. I've got 10 books and I'm just going to get straight into them. All right, so all 10 books here, and not including the new releases that are coming out this year. These are all books that I have wanted to read and they are backlist books. And the order of these that I'm sharing with you are actually in an order of the one that is being the longest on my TBR, going towards number 10, which is the latest add to my TBR, just in case you're curious of the order. Let me scooch over. By the way, feel free to psychoanalyze my family bookshelves. There's another one over there, but you can't see it. Okay, so the first book I have on this list is Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch. You will probably have seen this if you've been around for a while. Multiple times in my monthly TBR basket videos, my Will Chooses TBR videos. It's cropped up so often and I never get around to it, and it's a combination of it being a big book. I think it's just over 700 pages. And it's Donna Tartt. I've not read from her before, but I've got like multiple of her books and I just have heard so many good things about her. I'm scared she's not going to live up to the hype, which is, the other reason I've not read this one. The Goldfinch, out of all of her books, is the one that's been on my list the longest, which is why it's here. But honestly, if I read any Donna Tartt, I'll be pretty proud of myself. But The Goldfinch is the one I really want to get to. It's actually the oldest book on my TBR, like ever. I added it to my TBR list. I've got my list down here. Oh, come on, computer. I added it to my TBR list when I kind of first started using Goodreads, which was in 2017, which doesn't sound that long ago, but we're in 2022 now. It's knocking on 5 years ago I've been wanting to read this book, so it's about time I get to it. I'm also not going to be delving too much into what these books are about, guys. You've probably heard of a lot of them, and I'll leave their information down below. He's literally just sneaking closer with his toy. I promised, buddy. I promise after this. Next one on my list is a fantasy, and that is Furyborn. This is actually the last in my 5-star predictions. Honestly, last year I completely forgot that was a series I was in the middle of. I was just having a lot of fun doing the Will Chooses TBR and not prioritizing making sure Furyborn was on that TBR pile. So Furyborn is one I really want to read. Again, it's one I've had on my TBR for a very long time. I'm really interested at this point to see my thoughts on it, because when I added it to my TBR pile, I was really loving YA fantasy, and I still do. I still love the escapism it provides, but I've become really over, what's the word I'm looking for here? I've just read a lot of YA fantasy over the years, and so some cliches, some tropes are starting to really get the better of me, and I'm starting to get really sick of them, just to be honest. So by the way, apologies for the bra straps. I'm living out of a suitcase and I didn't bring any stick-on boobies, but did we need that tangent? I don't know. Furyborn, I want to read it. It's the oldest YA fantasy on my TBR, I think, and it is the last book in my 5-star predictions one that I need to read, and then I can, start a fresh cycle. Hey, buddy. All right, the next book, a lot of you have probably heard about. It is Maggie Stavard's Call Down the Hawk. I absolutely loved the Raven Cycle back when I read it in my 3rd year of university, which will be knocking on 5 years ago. And as soon as this came out, I immediately added it to my TBR, and Titus actually bought me a copy. So I've got a beautiful copy. I just really need to get to it. And it's, again, one of the books that I haven't been picking up because I've been so scared of not liking it, because I really loved, I think it's Ronan, is that the character's name? Let me check. It is. Good memory, Bethany. I really loved Ronan in the Raven Cycle, the Raven Boys series. He wasn't really a major character, but I loved what he added. And I'm really intrigued by his power of bringing things into reality from his dreams, but he doesn't seem to be able to control it. I think it's a fascinating idea. Very Inkheart, which I loved as a young teen. So I just want to get to it before it gets... Before it gets too out of, what's what I'm looking for? Not out of hand. Before it becomes a mashed potato book. Ready? Ready? Alright, you're going to hold okay? I'm going to be ready. Are you going to come say hi, Sam? That one's Sam. That one's Vinny. Okay. Sit down, stay. All right, so the next one is the Priory of the Orange Tree. This is one I started last. Okay, so the next one is the Priory of the Orange Tree. I have read about a quarter of this already, and I only read it like that quarter last year. However, I never got around to finishing it because it's just so massive, and I just wasn't in the mood. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I've really become quite a mood reader, and so I just have not been able to finish it, especially last year. I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood for it, but this year I really want to finish it. I've seen lots of people say that this book is absolutely amazing and a must read for everybody, and also it just has dragons, and I feel like I'm getting in the mood for it again. I feel like I'll be able to pick it up when I am in the mood for completing something and feeling really good about myself. If that's the right reason to read a book, I don't know. But anyone else ever get in that moment where you feel like you haven't finished a book in a long time? No doubt it's going to happen to me as a mood reader. I'll have like 5 books on the go and I'll not be able to finish any of them. And no doubt, I believe in myself, I will reach for the Priory of the Orange Tree then. The next one I have on here is the Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This is just a novel that I feel like is considered a classic that I just really want to read because of that, and I've just never read it. I've never read it. He's also got another really famous book, something about the sun, and I just cannot remember what it's called right now. But I've had that. Khaled is just an amazing author. His stories are really heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching, organ-wrenching. Oh, no, let's not say that. And yeah, I'm just happy to feel like I'm finally ready to take it on. I find that I am quite a avid fantasy, thriller, romance reader because those novels take me out of reality without hitting too hard and emotionally damaging me. Whereas sometimes these contemporary, historical, really hard-hitting novels really throw me off. And I'm not saying that we should not read them because of that. They're obviously really important, but part of the joy for me of reading is the escapism, and it's not every day that I feel like escaping into a novel, which is no doubt going to be very hard and upsetting to read. So at one point this year, I really want to get myself through this novel. Hello. Oh, both of you here. Are you sharing? I thought I was going to eat you guys. Alright, the next novel is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I have read her Murder on the Orient Express, and that's the only one of hers I read. And I don't know if you recall from Haul Week last year, where I hold a gorgeous, like, collector's kind of edition of Agatha Christie novels. I don't think Then There Were None is part of that collection, but I really want to read more of her novels. I was originally going to unhold that collection, but I've since decided to keep it on my shelves because I want to read more of her. And Then There Were None is another one of her really, really famous ones, and it's one I just really want to get you. Oh, almost. Alright, the next one on this list, we are going on to some Colleen Hoover. I've got her edition of It Ends With Us, and this is a novel I'm reading for the hype. Let me know if you want like a specific What the Hype video on this. I'd be totally keen to do that. Either way, I'll definitely be featuring it in a reading vlog. Cannot wait to get those up and going again. I mean, it's simple. I want to read it because of the hype. I want to read it because Colleen Hoover has so many books out there, and when I asked you guys over on Instagram, this is one of her novels. He said it was a great place to start. So I want to read it. It's as simple as that. Another one I really want to read is A Little Life. This one I'm definitely doing a dedicated reading vlog for. I know that there are so many reading vlogs like this on YouTube, but I just want to throw my video into the mix, into the fish pond, as it were, throw another fish in there. I want to document my experience because I quite often say it's really hard for novels to make me cry or laugh, and every vlog I've seen of this, people have ended up bawling, and I just want to record and document and see if that's the same case for me. I'm intrigued, and like I said with the Kite Runner, I haven't gotten around to it because it sounds extremely emotionally taxing, and I wasn't really ready for that, but I feel like this year is the year. 2022, the year I take on emotional damage from novels. It'll be okay. I'm actually really excited, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. The only one I've put on this list that is from a series is Dark Dawn. This is the third one in the Nevernight trilogy, and I've just been meaning to read it for the longest time. I'm also very seriously contemplating rereading books 1 and 2, like doing a reread, so that book 3 is like, you know, totally immersive as it can be for me. I just quite enjoy Christoph's writing. I know he can be controversial, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I like his writing. I find it entertaining and intense and exciting, and I want to finish his series really badly. Like, out of all the series I'm part of the way through, this is the one that I really want to finish this year. So it's got a special place on here. Then we have the last book that is on this list, and that is The City of Brass. Just because it's the last on my list, technically it's the latest addition to my list. Out of all these books, like the latest, most recent add to my TBR out of all of these books. However, this has been one I've been wanting to read for a long, long time. I just didn't realise I hadn't added it literally to my list. This is another novel that I really want to read because of the hype, much like the Colleen Hoover. I think this novel is going to be really good. I mean, I hope it is. It seems really loved, and I kind of trust the general audience. It was also a book that someone asked me to do for a What the Hype episode, so that will be coming this year sometime. We'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely wanting to get to this year. And with that concludes the 10 novels I really want to read in 2022. My reading bucket list, shall we say. I think I'm going to react to this list later on in the year, at the end of the year, see if I've managed to get 10 out of 10. Bethany, here's a challenge. Any book on here that you haven't read, you have to sell, donate. Yeah, just yeah. Any book on this list, oh, that's intense. Any book on this list that you have not read, you have to donate. Okay, that makes it a bit more exciting. Alrighty, so with that being said and done, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Please let me know if you have any books that you really want to get to by the end of the year. If you have any books on this bucket list that you really want me to document my reading experience of on this little book nook. Okay, enjoy all the places you go, your own reading adventures. From me and Vincent. Hey buddy, you want to say bye-bye to the people who've been watching you run around? Hey? Hi. No, he just wants his toy. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again for being so understanding about me taking a break, guys. Mwah. Love you. Ready? Where are you, buddy? Oh, left-handed throw. That's pretty bad. What you got? Pupster, what you got? Oh, he's already had enough. Okay, bud.